I can't lie, I'm honestly relieved that Outlander Season 8 is finally diving headfirst into one of the most pivotal storylines from Diana Gabaldon's novels, but at the same time, there's a major problem that's hard to ignore. Because while this season might be the most emotional, the most ambitious, and possibly the most heartbreaking chapter yet, it's also walking a very fine line. So let's unpack everything we know so far, because what's coming next could redefine Outlander forever. When the trailer for Outlander Season 8 dropped at San Diego Comic-Con, fans around the world went wild. Not just because this is the grand finale of one of television's most epic love stories, but because of what the teaser didn't show. The clip opens like a love letter to the past, a haunting montage of everything that made Jamie and Faith Fraser unforgettable. From their electric first meeting at Castle Leoch, to their passionate nights in France, their perilous escape through the Caribbean, and their new beginnings in the American colonies, it's all there. A whirlwind of fire, devotion, and loss, the kind of moments that left an entire generation of fans crying, gasping, and believing in a love that could defy time itself. And then, the music shifts. The old footage fades away. Suddenly we're back at Fraser's Ridge years later. Jamie and Claire stand side by side, older, wiser, their hair streaked with grey, their faces marked by everything they've survived. But there's a serenity there too, a quiet sense of coming home. Then we see Brianna, Roger, and their children, the family, together again, and with them comes a story that every book reader immediately recognized: Jamie's connection to Frank Randall's book. In one scene, Jamie sits by candlelight flipping through the worn pages of a modern history text written by none other than Frank Randall himself. He turns to Claire and says that Frank wrote about how the Revolutionary War shaped life in the backcountry, including Fraser's Ridge. But then comes the gut punch. Frank's book records that James Fraser, the Ridge's namesake, died during the war. For fans of Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, that detail hits like thunder. Frank's discovery and Jamie's supposed death are huge emotional turning points in the novels, and now at last it looks like Outlander is finally bringing that heartbreaking arc to life. That's an enormous relief, especially after Season 7 barely touched on Frank's book. Sure, Brianna found it tucked away on a dusty shelf at Lallybroch, but the show skipped one of the most haunting pieces of the puzzle: the hidden letter Frank left inside. In the books, that letter revealed that Frank somehow knew Claire had gone back in time again, and that she would live out her life with Jamie at Fraser's Ridge. It wasn't suspicion, it was understanding, love even. Frank's research wasn't about jealousy, it was about acceptance, about leaving behind breadcrumbs for Claire and Brianna to one day find the truth. When that moment was cut from the show, many of us feared it would never return, but now this trailer proves otherwise. Still, the teaser raises an even bigger question, one that's left the fandom buzzing: what happened to Faith Fraser? If you remember, the Season 7 finale ended on one of the most shocking twists in Outlander history: the hint that Faith, Jamie, and Claire's first daughter, who died as a baby back in Season 2, might actually be alive. It was a bold original twist that doesn't exist in Gabaldon's books, and fans assumed Season 8 would center around uncovering the truth behind that revelation. And yet, in the trailer, Faith is nowhere to be seen, not a single mention, no glimpse of Claire searching for answers, no sign of Master Raymond, nothing. Instead, the teaser leans entirely on the Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone storyline, as if the Faith twist had been erased altogether. That's what has fans, myself included, feeling uneasy, because now Season 8 has to juggle two enormous storylines: at once the canon arc about Jamie's recorded death from Frank's book, and the newly invented TV plot about Faith's possible survival, and with only 10 episodes to wrap everything up, that's an almost impossible balancing act. Let's face it, Outlander has never been afraid of complexity, but time has always been its biggest enemy, both literally and narratively. Pacing has been uneven in past seasons, and with so many threads to tie Jamie and Claire, Brianna, and Roger Ian, and Rachel Lord John William, and possibly even Fergus and Marsali, the risk of rushing through emotional payoffs is real. And if Faith truly is alive, that revelation changes everything: for Claire, for Jamie, for their marriage, their grief, their very sense of identity. Ignoring that thread would feel like erasing one of the deepest sources of pain the series has ever explored. Still, the decision to spotlight Frank's book feels intentional. It suggests that the writers want to bring everything full circle, weaving together Claire's two lives, her two great loves, and the history that binds them both. It's poetic, really. Frank's research about Jamie's fate becomes the final echo of the love triangle that once defined this story. And just because the trailer didn't show Faith doesn't mean she's gone. Outlander has always thrived on secrets after all. Hiding Faith's return until the actual episodes drop could make that reveal even more devastating. But pulling this off, balancing both arcs while giving every character the ending they deserve, will require near-perfect storytelling, because this season isn't just about survival anymore, it's about closure. Claire's closure with her two lives, Jamie's confrontation with his own mortality, Frank's final connection to the woman he loved but could never keep. And above all, it's about legacy, how love is remembered, rewritten, and reborn through time. There's something achingly beautiful about Jamie discovering that history has already written his death, and then choosing to fight against it. It's fate versus free will, the very heartbeat of Outlander from the beginning. So yes, it's comforting to know that Season 8 is finally adapting Frank's book, but with Faith's fate hanging in the balance, there's also more at stake than ever before. If the writers can strike that delicate balance, honoring the books while embracing the show's original twists, we could be looking at one of the most emotional finales in television history. A finale that doesn't just end a story, but transcends it, honoring love, memory, and time itself. Because in the world of Outlander, endings have never truly been endings. They're just another beginning waiting for the right moment to be found again. But maybe that's exactly what makes Outlander timeless. Every ending, after all, is just another beginning waiting to be found. The camera may fade to black, the music may quiet, but somewhere in another century, another time, Jamie and Claire still walk side by side through the mists of the Highlands. Perhaps the bees will keep their secrets a little longer. Perhaps a letter left unread, or a voice carried by the wind, will open the door once more. Because Outlander has never truly been a story about time travel, it's been a story about the kind of love that time itself cannot destroy. So when the credits roll on Season 8, maybe it won't be goodbye. Maybe it will be the whisper of another chapter, one not yet written, one that lives on in the hearts of those who still believe that somewhere beyond the stones, their story continues. And who knows, the bees might tell us when the time is right,